kind of like the retro blue and red anodized fittings. Started off with the BBW, so it stands for Big Beautiful Welds. You know what I'm talking about. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So last night, Austin and I pulled the motor out of the Camaro. That way we can go ahead and finalize our turbo drain, and also we're going to go ahead and put it back in the car and continue on the hot side of the turbo kit. So our plan is to run the turbo drain, which is this hose right here. We're going to run it through this hole, and on the other side there's another hole back here, but we have to make this hole a little bit bigger. That way our 45-degree fitting will fit through there, and also our bung is probably going to go right about there. So we're going to actually pull the pan off and make sure there's nothing behind in this area, or there's no blockage or anything like that. That way we can weld it and we could be good and clear. We also got our upper radiator hose all finalized. The only thing we're waiting on is a 90-degree fitting for this side right here, which is the, I guess that would be the inlet for the pump. Once that comes in, we can go ahead and make that line, and our radiator plumbing will be complete. And we got done was just welding some -10 bungs to each of our valve covers for our catch can provision. So we were thinking about trying to mount it off of one of the heads or even the intake manifold. But there's a few locations that we can go ahead and choose from. So we're gonna wait until we get that in and get it mounted. That way we know exactly where it's gonna fit the best. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the pan popped off and go ahead and make sure we have plenty of room behind that oil drain to make sure we have no interference or blockage or anything like that. Well, here's the super secret stock 5.3 block Gen 4 iron rods and Summit Pro LS pistons that, you know, no one will ever tell you about. Yeah, so, I mean, our engine's pretty stock, minus the pistons and, you know, the cam and stuff like that. But rotating assembly wise, like the crank is stock, it's been polished, it's been balanced. You know, a lot of little things that will make these things survive, like well over 1,000 horsepower. So, you know, we'll see how long it lasts. So this little silver Sharpie mark is where we were thinking about putting the bung, and it looks like we're really not going to have any issues at all, which is pretty nice. So I'm going to go ahead and start drilling into this. I am going to try to keep all the debris out. Obviously, you know, you don't want a bunch of metal shavings in your oil pan, but like all this is just assembly lube and whatnot for sitting over time, because we did put this motor together about a year ago and everything looks pretty good. I mean, there's really very minimal surface rust. I thought it'd be a little bit more rusty than that, but I guess not. I don't know. Everything looks pretty good. Pretty happy with it. Got the bung all welded up, at least on the inside for now. So I'm actually gonna wait until Austin gets up. I'm gonna let him run a bead around it. That way we are 100% sealed, because we don't want to have any oil leaks. So we're gonna weld it on the inside, which is already done. We'll go ahead and weld it on the outside, which we'll do here shortly. So now I think I'm actually gonna try to waller out this hole a little bit. That way we can go ahead and fit our fitting through it. And I'll go ahead and show you. It's this hole right here. So probably meant for access to the engine mount and whatnot for a wrench, but we just need to open it up a little bit more. That way we can get our fitting, a little 45 right there, fit right on through there. Well, we got the bung all welded up last night, and we got the pan reinstalled on the engine. So we're gonna go ahead and take the engine and put it back in the car so we can continue working on the turbo hot side. All right, so we got the engine back in the car. We got our manifold back on, hooked up to our halfway turbo kit. And as we are sitting, we are 1.5 degrees down, which is actually pretty perfect, because like I'll even show you guys over here. I wrote this down. 1.4 to 1.6 down in the back. So that, what that is we had a Power Glide case, and what we did is put it on the engine, put the cross member in there, and bolted everything down, made everything nice and tight, and actually just measured the angle of the engine. That way we know when we get a Power Glide, it's gonna sit where it wants to sit. So that's why we are able to do the turbo kit as we are now. So if it was at 0 degrees and then we got to rock it back 1.5, it probably wouldn't align up with the headers. So we'd have to cut and re-weld some things, but we thought ahead and it's working. As you can see, there's our turbo drain. We had a little put a little nutsert in there so our hose is nice and tight and tucked. Goes through the hole back there. Oh, you can't even see it. I'll show you. Comes out the hole and it 45s into the pan. So it's all downhill, which is very nice. It lines up, it's cleared. So what we're gonna do is actually, we're gonna have to take this line back off. It's just on there snug. And we'll go ahead and actually, we have some DEI, some heat shielding for AN lines. So it's really nice stuff. So we'll go ahead and wrap this forward section of it and probably put a little bit of section back here just so there's no chafing and whatnot. Now that means Austin and I can continue on the turbo kit, which we're going to do here shortly. What's up, guys? So it's currently the next day. I've been in the garage, been busy, haven't picked up the phone much at all. So go ahead and show you what we got working so far. So I went ahead, got some tacks up on this guy right here, and Austin's up, and we're actually currently kind of making our flange fit. It's a little tight, especially with a radius. Where's that piece at? Here it is. So we had to kind of massage it down, but it's a good fit now. So what we're going to do is actually run couple welds on the back side of here, just because we have little to no clearance. I mean, it's definitely doable, definitely weldable, but we're going to do it since we can able to do it off. We're going to go ahead and weld it up now. So like I was mentioning in the previous video, we went ahead and got some Furet cups. I actually got some more on the way as well. So started off with the BBW. So it stands for Big Beautiful Welds. You know what I'm talking about. And, hit them up, asked them if he did any type of military discount, and sent us the, I guess it's like the plastic version. It's like a really tough plastic. So he sent us this and some stickers. So I think that was pretty badass, especially for the quality of, his stuff. I mean, this thing just looks like a freaking art piece. It's really nice, super constructed, very, very, very nice. Have yet to use it, but I've only seen great things about it. All right, how'd they come out? Let's see it.
Sounds good.
Reveal. Well, after the gas is shutting off. Oh, there you go. Look at that. So much better. So like we were saying before, guys, it's all about the gas coverage, and you can see our welds are gold, and then they turn kind of a blue-purple color where we start off again. So
lift it off right here. That's why it's that.
Awesome.
That's why that one's silver.
Yeah, that's all right.
Technique.
But, yep, we're gonna get it. We're getting it. Say there's a big comparison between the welds that we're doing now compared to the ones that we did. The only thing we changed was the gas lens. So just goes to show, do your research and definitely learn and pay attention. Well, it is the next day, you guys, and yesterday kind of kicked my ass. So if you guys know, we were doing the hot side and our slit fitting that goes in here. I went ahead and welded it up, I guess the double slit portion of it. So those welds actually came out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with those. I did those as well. So this side from the slit fitting back is all welded up now. But when I welded this on, I could not get this slip fitting out. I literally had to mangle it to get it out. So I'm pretty not happy about that, but it is what it is. We've never done this before, so we're learning as we go. I did reach out to stainless headers. That was kind of tight from when we got it, so maybe it was just like a quality thing. I don't know. We'll see what they say. But definitely going to learn from this time for next time to not do that, or even to try to take some of the material off so it's less of a tight fit. So since we're in a standstill with the hot side, we did go ahead and get some new parts in today, which is pretty cool. So we got our 90 that we were waiting on, so we can actually complete the cooling system and lines. And we also got our DEI heat sleeve for our turbo drain because it's really close to the hot side. So this is our turbo drain right here. It goes somewhere around like that. So what we're gonna do is basically undo this fitting and wrap this whole front section, probably pretty much up to the alternator, just so it's nice and protected from heat. And then we'll also probably put a little portion back here just because it is going through that hole. So we don't want any, major chafing and have a hole in our oil drain. If any of you guys have used these double slip fittings joints before, and you see what we're doing wrong, please comment down below and let us know so we can learn from next time when we know. But like I said, I reached out to them, so we'll see what they say. And I also asked kind of for some guidance to see if they have any tips or tricks on when to install these. Got the turbo oil drain all finalized. Nice little clamp on the frame. You got chafe tape on this hole here and on the other one back there. So it's all ran nice and tight, and it's all downhill from here. So that's actually pretty good. But yeah, this DEI stuff is pretty sweet. It's the 1-inch size, and it fits directly over dash 10 fittings and the line. So I did have to take off one of the ends. I did take off the outer end, the 90-degree portion of it. So this guy had to come off right here, but the actual sleeve part stayed on, which was pretty nice. All right, so this is why we have the 90-degree fitting, and this is roughly where I'm going to cut right there. It's not perfectly where it's supposed to be. It's going to be like that. So you can see that routing is going to be good. We'll be clear there, clear the suspension, clear the hot side. So if we have to, we can go ahead and run some more heat shielding on that if we really had to. I'm not sure if we're going to or not, but we'll see when we get there. But yeah, now I'm gonna go struggle cutting this and putting this together. So if you guys know anything about big AM lines, they are a pain in the ass to put together. They're so difficult. Well, that actually turned out to be a lot easier than I thought. So came out pretty good. I guess maybe a new style fitting or something. I don't know. I know some of these are really a pain. So like this one was a super pain to get in. That one wasn't so bad. That one's a pain too though. But that one was actually probably the easiest one. So yeah, pretty satisfied and pretty happy with that. I think looks pretty good. Kind of like the retro blue and red anodized fittings. I just feel like everybody goes black now, so it's like, kind of boring. But I don't know. Let us know what you guys think. Should we have went with black or kept the blue and red? I don't know. But either way, that is 2 things off of our next list. So radiator is plumbed fully. We got a turbo oil drain done. So we need catch can, oil pressure for the turbo, and then we'll have the cold side. Obviously, the intake manifold is actually on its way, so we should be getting that here within the next 2 weeks, which is really exciting. So we'll probably end up doing the cold side before we do the hot side, unfortunately, but you never know. We'll see how long it takes to get that slip fitting. So hopefully we can get everything buttoned up, finished up, and move on to the next project. So unfortunately we did not get the hot side done, but in the future we will. A very short feature, I should say. So stuff happens, and like I said earlier, you guys, if you know what we did wrong or if you saw something, please let us know down below, because like I said, we're still learning at this. We've never done this before, so we still got a lot of more fabrication to do in the future. Our intake should be here soon, so we can do the cold side, finish the hot side, and get our wastegate and blow off valve placement. That way the turbo kit will be 100% done. So like always, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for subscribing. Make sure you get your bell notifications on. That way you guys don't miss out any of our future videos. But we'll see you in the next one.